Now, at a time, there was no Catholic church in Okoni. It's like every other Christian from Okoni was now worshiping at the main town. Why was it like that, sir? Because I want to find out because we were told by some speculators that at the time that Okoni people were hostile to Father Corbeau. Is there any truth about that one, sir?
Oh, well, naturally, a foreigner would have problems in a foreign land. Even St. Peter, St. Paul, Stephen, they had problems where they were preaching and evangelizing. It was not just a funny thing. The same thing as for Corbeau. The people, many of the people were not ready to change from worshiping idols and all this to Christianity. It was not as easy as that. Even at Okoni, the first time, they showed him where to build his church, a graveyard. It was a graveyard, just as you have in things fall apart, bury ground. Just as you have in China Achebe's things fall apart and arrow of God. The early Christians were being shown bury ground to go and build their houses there or churches there. The same thing as at Okoni. It was not so strange. It was not strange. But what Father Corbeau did, there were other things that let me just go through them. I told you the first time was 1906. In 1914, there was World War that started and ended in 1918. During that period of the First World War, caused by Germany, the French people, the English people, they called their citizens back to go and to follow the soldiers to where they were fighting in the Far East, then especially in northern Japan and the other areas, Malaysia. So the Reverend Fathers followed them. This Reverend Father equally followed them because he was called back by the French government to follow the soldiers. So for 4 years he was away. He came back in 1919 to continue his evangelization. Then in 1927 he was called back by the French or by Pope. This time not the government. He was called back by the Pope said it would be easier for Reverend Fathers evangelizing to speak the language of the people than to get interpreters and all those. That's why he was posted to Dahomey, a French-speaking country. That's Father Corbeau was reposted to Dahomey. And other Reverend Fathers, especially from Ireland, were being posted to replace him. So what he had established in Nishan continued. So there was no vacuum. Then when he left, later the church crumbled because the people in the faithful people in Okoni were feeling that the church in the town, that's Setatonis, was now getting, naturally, an urban area would attract more members in anything. So the Okoni people were not feeling, even some of them will not come from there every Sunday to the town to worship and to go back. So to say, the church in Okoni came down. Not necessarily that Father Corbeau told them that with time your church will go down. No. When he said au revoir, he said we shall see again. It's just the same thing as goodbye. He was not happy when he was leaving. He was not happy at all. The bicycle that they brought for him to go, he deliberately delayed it before he went back to France and back to Dahomey. So he was not happy when he left. He was crying. They are all written in the books of the ones written by Okweri, the ones written by Ojefo, the ones written by Okosun. All what I'm saying now, They are all documented. They were written in Ubiaja, everything about him. They are all documented. So he was not happy to go away. So Ukoni people found themselves having a problem that the urban church was attracting more people. The urban church had hospital around, they had garden around, they had primary schools around, although Ukoni had primary schools around too, but that of the town attracted more people. And even, I won't say foreigners, people from Agbo, people from Onitsha, and all that, the traders from Lokoja, from Auchi, from Ibadan. Even the outside people coming. So the town was busier at that time and attracted more people. So it was a kind of, I won't say syncretism and aggression. It drew many people. So at a time, the church in Ukoni subsided. Later, in 2003, to be more precise, the church was resuscitated. Who was the first Reverend Father now? The late, when I remember, I will tell you, from Ghana Bode, he was the one that was the first Reverend Father when the church was resuscitated in 2003. So the church is growing from strength to strength now. Every day, St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Ukoni. Even when the boys engage others in football, footballing, in singing, they're always winning trophies. The Ukoni boys. So there's no problem about them there. They are getting more believers every day, as the one in town is getting every day. There's no problem at all. Okay. And there is that that friendly, there is comradeship between the two. Okay. No problem at all. Like just last Sunday and the last Christmas, many people from this parish went to the center, as all other parishes went to the center to worship. So no problem at all. No problem.
Okay. Meaning you are making us to understand now that the phrase the people mainly use, that Father Corbeau you could not change, so it's not true then?
It's not true. They just misunderstood the interpretation. Au revoir, that we shall see again. They misinterpreted it to be, you people didn't allow me to stay. You didn't want to follow me well. No, it's wrong. There was nothing of that nature. The people were weeping when he left. And Father Corbeau himself was weeping when he left. He even delayed his journey by 3 days. The journey back to France and to Dahomey.